One of those places when you, just from my visit here, it's so much about Uganda I never knew even existed. It's a certain welcome that I never knew Uganda even had. When you look at how Uganda has been promoted and how Ugandans have been promoted internationally, you would be scared to death to come to Uganda. All they tell you is about the time frame of Idi Amin and all the things that happened. They don't tell you about what I just saw. And I'm determined to expose that. So I want people to understand how beautiful Uganda is, and the best way to do it is to build my city here. That we plan to put in the rural areas and within the city as well. So as you know, without the energy part, the city itself won't even be possible. So there'll be a very strategic area in which we will heavily invest in the energy sector, because we're going to utilize that energy to power the city itself. The tourism aspect of it is the main goal, to be able to attract foreigners to come and invest here in Uganda. We believe that every country is going to utilize and need tourism to fuel its economy. And ultimately, it will be a shame to have all this beautiful access to this country and no one else knows about it but Ugandans. So we believe that it's definitely necessary. And when it comes to infrastructure, that's also very viable to what we're doing, because the worst thing is to have millions of people come to visit Uganda and then we don't have basic roads to get them there and show them the place or get to a specific area. So we want to make sure that we're putting down the proper infrastructure, not only for the visitors, but also for the locals, you know, for basic living. Infrastructure is super important, and we want to make that pretty much the element that developed every country in the world except itself. So we want to be able to utilize our own resources to develop our own. And Akon City is one of those cities that utilizes African resources to build itself and power itself by the people. So we want to be able to create that model and copy and paste that throughout the continent. So we think it's very, very important, because that will just be the spark of a forest fire that eventually one day will raise someone like me or someone that has the potential that I have to do the same. And the idea is for all of us to come unite and build our country together. As for the Akoin, which is our cryptocurrency, we want to be able to utilize that everywhere. We're currently beta testing right now in Kenya, which is doing amazingly well. We will be launching that within the next 90 days as an official cryptocurrency throughout Kenya, and eventually will one day become, hopefully, a currency to be used in Uganda as well. As you know, the Akoin is a little bit different from the average currency, because it's not like the local currency where when you leave Uganda, you can't really cash it in for fiat currency. The crypto allows you to be able to use it globally. And Akoin will be one of those platforms, no matter where you go, you can be able to take your finances with you, invest with you, but it will be the heart of what you created here in Uganda. So we do want to be able to implement Akoin in Uganda, along not only with the city, but within the normal population one day to come. What I've realized is that as Africans, we don't come together. That's number one. Number two, we don't trust each other. And number three, we're always competing, and we're never in a position to unite, not realizing that if me and my brother join forces, we're 2 times better than we are alone. If you look at the Jewish community, they have the least population in the whole world, but yet they control the whole world. It's because they unite, they come together. There's no coincidence that the United States is so respected globally and is the smallest continent. It's the United States. They come together. Now let's take it even a little further. If you calculate 30, 40 years ago, in the Middle East, they wasn't as powerful as they are today until they created the United Emirates. When you come together, you're a lot stronger. It's harder to defeat you. And it puts you in a better position because everybody can utilize those resources to get further. We're helping each other. We're giving each other knowledge. We're supporting every aspect of thought that can take you to the next level when you come together. So the biggest link that's the weakest for Africans is unity. The moment we decide to come together, we will be unstoppable. And I think that's the reason why we've been failing all these years. There's no reason why I have to get a visa to come to Uganda when I'm from Senegal. Why is that? Why can't we travel freely throughout the continent like everyone else? If you go through Europe, any country in Europe can go to any place in Europe without having, all you need is a basic ID or a passport. You mean we can't do? It's like, it's the mind state. And I think the mentality of us as a people, we already believe that we're not worth what we're worth. I know for sure we're worth way more than what people look at us to be, because their idea and their goal is to keep us to think that we're nothing so they can continue to be something. Without Africans, the world won't exist. Without Africa itself, economy won't even exist. And I don't see why there's a reason why we can't build something up here for people that's up here. I look at all of us as we're right here. The only thing that stops us from being poor and rich is opportunity. And if we don't put opportunity in a place where there's less opportunity, people will never have the opportunity to be great. So I don't look at it as a standpoint of something that people can't afford. I know if I put it there, they're gonna find a way to afford it because it's gonna motivate them to be bigger than what they are now. And I think if we put ourselves in a situation to think that things that seem to be impossible is impossible, we'll never reach a goal outside of who we are. And I remember the time of history that I was taught when Africa controlled the world. We were kings, queens, richer than anybody you can ever think about. When you look at certain names that made people like Bill Gates live in projects, they had so much money. Because the resources were so rich and we just unfortunately aren't educated enough to know how to monetize those resources to our benefit. But ultimately, when you do and create an opportunity, people grow with that opportunity. People learn with that opportunity. People are motivated with that opportunity. So it may seem to be something of this nature today, but I guarantee you, you give an African a nickel, you give him 5 years with the right mind state, he'll turn that nickel into 5 billion. Because I'm a hustler, so I know how to flip a dollar. But I have the mind state to believe that I can do it. You guys are no different to me. I come from you, like we have the same blood. But the difference that I had was I went to the US and got motivated. I saw what you just had to, like I seen with my own eyes what man can accomplish. And till this day, people around the world is trying to figure out how the hell those Africans build those pyramids with no machines. Believe me, we have the capability. We just have to believe in ourselves enough to know that we can do it. So let's not discourage each other that the city's gonna come here and fail. Let's know that when the city comes here, it's coming to win, and I'm gonna need your support to do that. We need to unite as a people to make this thing happen. I always believed, and now knowing my true calling, is to develop Africa, whatever it takes. You know, I utilize my resources, my celebrity, my finances, my connections, knowledge, whatever it takes to get to that point, and want to partner with countries that want to see their country go to the next level and be something different for tomorrow. I believe that Uganda has the biggest potential in tourism throughout all of Africa. I've been everywhere in Africa, trust me, and I haven't seen potential like this, you know.